So life is always going to test you to see if you actually the person you say you are, to see if you actually deserve the life that you say you want. It'll test you not just to just it don't test you for no reason. It tests you to see if you're ready for the next level. And I'm going to let you know that is very important if you ever want to elevate in life. If you want to elevate, if you want to have more peace, more anything, you need to be able to pass life's tests. And that is what we'll be going over today. So, like I said before, it's not for no reason. It's tests that are created by you unconsciously to see if you're aligned with the things that you say you want consciously. So it's like an unconscious test on your conscious mind, right? So it's not just bad luck, it's not just unfortunate situations. This is you testing yourself to see if you're ready. So it is the unconscious testing the conscious mind. So when you go through these events that you aren't, fond of, unfortunate events, maybe heartbreak, people acting a type of way that you don't like, you don't agree with, or just random stuff during the day that just might piss you off, might make you sad, might throw you off emotionally, or just might throw your game off during the day. These tests go straight to your conscious mind. They can interrupt your conscious mind to see if you'll react or respond. So when your unconscious mind tests the conscious mind and you react, then you lose. When you react, that means you're emotionally invested. So when you're emotionally invested and your emotional attention is going in that direction, you lose that test. Because now you're saying, this is what I want to put my energy into. This is what I'm putting my emotional energy into in the present. So let me go ahead and continue being aligned with the test that was given to me. For example, if someone disrespects you and they're just talking mad shit, or there's drama on your name going around, if you engage in that emotionally, whether it's negative or positive, it don't matter. If you engage and pour attention into that thing, it grows because you failed the test. Because now you're saying, I align with this drama that's being said to me. I align with the disrespect that I'm being received. You might think that you don't want it, but if your emotional attention is going in that direction, you're going in that direction. Your life is going in that direction. So when you react to these unfortunate events, when people act a certain way towards you, when people are annoying you for some reason, when you react to this, you just recreate the cycle. You react, the test, you fail the test, and whatever this test was, since you're now emotionally aligned to it, since you're now giving it emotional attention, it'll go right back into the unconscious, and then it'll replay on autopilot. It won't even be a test. It'll just be autopilot at that point. It'll just be auto. So we don't want to react to things. You should be able, in a perfect world, you should be able to respond to everything and never react. Reacting is just giving up control. You're just saying the good will of the conscious mind is isn't as important as what's happening to me. Like you're just lying down and just letting somebody just run all over you. You can't do that. You must respond. Let's take a step back. If that's not what you like, if you see something on the outside world that you don't like and you react emotionally, you attach yourself to it. Remember that. Emotion is like glue to the reality that you want. You want to cease emotionally reacting to these tests that life will bring. And you want to start responding. So when you respond, you end the cycle of unfortunate event or um, disrespect or heartbreak. You end that cycle when you respond and you don't attach yourself emotionally, and you create consciously a new cycle for yourself. So you stop giving the control to the unconscious. You stop being on autopilot, and you take control of your life. You can only take control of your life when you're in the front seat, when you're not reacting, you're responding. You're getting emotionally invested in things that you don't even like. You don't even care about this thing. You don't care to be you don't want to be disrespected. You don't want that reality in your life. So why even move towards it emotionally? So once we cease reaction, we start to respond, and then we begin to start a new cycle. All right. And before we get into creating a new cycle, let's dive deeper on how we can actually cease reacting emotionally to things. So we know emotion is glue, right? Emotion is glue, right? And attention is just energy. When we take away completely our attention, we give it no energy. And now it's just null. There's no energy going to a desire. No, there's no energy that's going to a reality that we don't want. So just seize all the attention. If it if you feel it coming up in your soul that you're about to get sad, mad, I mean, yeah, if someone passes or something happens to where you have to grieve, you grieve. But if there's like traffic and you have to get to work and someone cuts you off, a good way to practice responding versus reacting is to feel the energy inside and just let it just be energy. But don't attach the energy to a story, you know? So do not create stories in your head. When you create stories, you create judgment. You attach the energy that's in your spirit that wants to come out. You attach it to an agenda, and you start judging the things that happen to you. And then you get more emotionally invested because now it's like someone cut you off. Now it's like, oh, why are they doing this? Everyone hates me. It's just, of course, someone cuts me off now in traffic when I'm trying to get to work. It's always like that. You start giving yourself these negative like dialogues in your head, and it just amplifies the emotion around what just happened to happen. So don't create stories. When you don't create stories, you actually you remain free. The energy can just flow right through you. The energy isn't stuck when you remain free, when you remain judge free, when you don't create stories, when you don't create agendas about what happens to you. So just let the energy flow through you and let it go away. Once you can do all of this effectively, once you enhance your skill of being aware through meditation and through contemplation and through just practice, responding rather than reacting, once you can do that, then you can start taking control of your life. Let's go back to the unconscious and conscious diagram. I'm probably spelling this shit wrong, y'all. Yeah. So now you can create your reality. Now you can be a co-creator by planting seeds in your unconscious mind. So once we stop reacting and we start responding, we'll be able to receive tests and then not let it enter our conscious mind, not create stories about what happens, not generate tons of emotional attention towards what we don't want. Once we do that, then we can stop the test right here, flip things around, and say, I want the opposite. So I won't react to this. I will just vibrate on a level of the inverse of this, the opposite of this test. So if it's, let's see, if it's scarcity, maybe you're low on funds. You're like, maybe you can't pay rent, or it's like it's cutting it close. You know what I'm saying? And you feel scarce. Instead of reacting and charging yourself with those emotions of being fearful, oh no, oh no, because like, what does that help? What does that do for you? You know what I'm saying? Genuinely, what does that do for you? Genuinely. Oh no, I don't know if I could pay bills this month. Well, get it done. Like, find a way to get it done. You're being scared for no reason. You're being fearful for no reason. Or there's a reason, but it doesn't benefit you. So to take control of your life, we put an X on all the emotion that we don't want to align with. And we create what we are aligned to, what we want to align to. And that's abundance. You still take the problem in, you do what you have to do to alleviate and to solve the problem, but you don't bring in the emotion with it, because then you'll just be going in the direction of the problem. When we want to escape the problem and move towards the solution, abundance, you don't want to have to go through this problem again. If you have scarcity as a problem, bills, money, etc., and you solve the problem that month, for example, while charging yourself with emotional energy of scarcity or fear or worry or I don't have enough, then that problem is just going to come back. But if you want to actually extinguish the problem overall, you take care of the problem while avoiding the intense negative charge, because you do not want to experience that problem again. So you do not align emotionally at all. People might look at you crazy, like, you sure you're okay? Like, yeah, I'm good. I'm going to find a way. I have faith. Everything will work out. So when you can stop the emotion here and increase your faith and decrease the negativity, decrease the negative emotions that are aligned to something that you don't even want, then you'll have the clarity to consciously create what you do want by aligning emotionally to that. So you'll align to abundance, and then you'll plant a seed of abundance in the unconscious mind. And then the unconscious mind will automatically give you abundance next time around. And that'll keep feeding your conscious. And obviously, we want abundance. So we'll receive it and be grateful. We'll be energetically aligned. We'll be great, grateful, happy, joyous. And that'll just keep repeating itself. This is how you eliminate the bad and replace it with the good, through faith and through detachment of the emotions. You do not want to emotionally align to the bad. So, give you a little story. For example, if like you having trouble with your girl, she going through her cycle, she's acting a type of way. Maybe she's just emotional for some reason. You know how women are; they're just emotional, and she might be giving you shit. She might be she might say some shit that's kind of a little borderline disrespectful. You know, what you don't do is get in that pit with her. You don't go down to hell with her. You don't get emotional just like her. You don't do that, especially as a man. Us men, we know that. You don't get on her level emotionally, because it'll only plant more seeds of whatever negative emotion that she was bringing to you. You got to beat it with kindness. As hard as it can be for some guys, you have to be emotionally stoic. You have to be emotionally detached. You can't align with negative emotion. Or with family, when your family's not believing in your dreams, they're not really believing in what you got going on. You can't argue with them. Now you swoop down to their level. You have to just tell them, I understand, mama. I understand, father. Thank you for caring for me, but I'm going to do it this way. You're detached. You're mature. You have faith, and you're creating consciously. You're not reacting. That's peon shit. You don't react to shit that you don't align with. Why? You know? So you can extrapolate this to any area of your life. When you cut out giving attention to that you don't align to, and you just up your faith, it gives you clarity to consciously create what you are aligned to, consciously create what you want to be aligned to. And this It's how you pass all of life's tests and plant new seeds in your unconscious mind for a better future.